guy in front, Habtom Samuel, so many second places. He's got to hang on a little bit to get home with the 2025. Careful now, careful now.
After 2 years of coming so close but not quite making it, one runner finally got his moment. And when he made his move, nobody could keep up. This is the story of Habtom Samuel and how he won the 2025 NCAA Cross Country Championship in the most impressive way possible. Habtom Samuel is a junior at the University of New Mexico. He was born in Eritrea, a small country in Africa. Before coming to college in America, he had already won medals at big races around the world. He won bronze medals when he was younger at the World Championships. People knew he was good, really good. But here's the thing. Samuel had been to the NCAA Cross Country Championships twice before. In 2023, he finished second. In 2024, he finished second again. Both times, he lost to the same runner from Harvard named Graham Blanks. The second time, something crazy happened. Samuel lost one of his running shoes during the race and still finished in second place. Can you imagine running 6 miles with only one shoe and almost winning? So when Samuel showed up in Columbia, Missouri on November 22nd, 2025, everyone was watching him. Would this be another second-place finish, or would this finally be his year? The race was 10,000 meters. That's a little over 6 miles. The weather wasn't great. It was cold, foggy, and the ground was wet from rain. Not ideal conditions for running fast. When the race started, lots of runners stayed together in a big group. Nobody wanted to go out too fast and get tired. This is normal in cross country. Runners stay in packs and wait for the right time to make their move. Samuel had a plan. He told his coach before the race,
I even said to my coach, I'm going to surprise you guys today.
He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He didn't want to start his kick too late. Some runners are really good at sprinting at the very end. Samuel knew if he waited until the last 400 meters, those runners might beat him. So his plan was different. He was going to run hard for longer. Samuel said this after the race.
Yeah, I kind of plan like not coming with the guys till the 400 or something. I know there's some guys to 1500, maybe they're going to kick me out. So I prefer like to just run longer and I just run hard. So that was my plan.
For most of the race, Samuel stayed near the front but didn't lead. He was being patient. At the halfway point, which is 5,000 meters, most of the top runners went through in 14 minutes and 25 seconds. Still a big pack. Still waiting. The teams were racing too. Not just individuals. Oklahoma State was looking really strong. They're the #1 team in the country and hadn't lost all season. New Mexico, Samuel's team, was right there with them. Iowa State, Oregon, and other schools were all fighting for the team championship. Then, with about 1,500 meters to go, Samuel made his move. And it wasn't a small move. It was huge. Between the 8,000-meter mark and the 9,000-meter mark, Samuel ran 1 kilometer in just 2 minutes and 37 seconds. To put that in perspective, that's the same pace as running 1 mile in 4 minutes and 13 seconds. That's incredibly fast, especially when you've already been running hard for 5 miles. This surge did exactly what Samuel wanted. It broke everyone. Suddenly, he had a gap, 3 seconds ahead of Rocky Hansen from Wake Forest and Brian Musso from Oklahoma State, 4 seconds ahead of Dennis Kipngedich from Oklahoma State, 5 seconds ahead of Solomon Kipchoge from Washington State. Rocky Hansen tried to chase Samuel down. He was the only one who looked like he might catch him, but time was running out. Samuel kept pushing hard. His last kilometer was 2 minutes and 44 seconds. His 2 fastest sections of the entire race were at the very end when it mattered most. That shows how smart he ran. He saved his best for last. Samuel explained, "By the time I got to the front, I was just telling myself, I'm going to run hard. I'm going to break those guys and just keep this fast pace." And I did it. That was my plan. As Samuel came down the final stretch, he knew he had won. He threw his arms out wide and weaved toward the finish line. He was soaking it all in. After 2 years of finishing second, this was his moment. He crossed the line in 28 minutes and 33.9 seconds.
Careful now. Habtom Samuel, finally a national champ. 2, 2, 1.
Rocky Hansen finished second in 28 minutes and 38 seconds. Solomon Kipchoge was third in 28 minutes and 40 seconds. Samuel beat Hansen by over 4 seconds. In cross country, that's a comfortable win. After the race, Samuel was so happy. He told this to the reporters, "This is amazing. After these past 2 years of finishing runner-up, I was like, keep working hard. I didn't ever give up, just fighting. I'm really happy. This is God's plan. Finally, I just made it. I finished. I got the title to bring to Albuquerque." Samuel's time of 28 minutes, 33.9 seconds, set a record for the Mountain West Conference. That's the group of schools that New Mexico competes with. He broke his own record from the year before. He also became only the second runner from the Mountain West to ever win the men's NCAA Cross Country Championship. The first was Josh Rohatinsky from BYU, who won way back in 2006. But Samuel wasn't the only winner that day. His whole team had an amazing race. 3 other runners from New Mexico also finished in the top 20. Collins Kaprotich finished 8th. Evans Kiplagat finished 13th. Vincent Churchier finished 20th. When you finish in the top 40 at nationals, you become an All-American. That's a huge honor. So New Mexico had 4 All-Americans on the men's side. The team scoring in cross country works by adding up the places of your top 5 runners. Lower is better. New Mexico scored 82 points and finished in second place as a team. That's the best finish in the school's history for the men's team. Oklahoma State won the team championship with 57 points. They put all 5 of their scoring runners in the top 30. 3 of them finished 4th, 5th, and 6th. That's incredible team depth. It wasn't just the men who did well for New Mexico. The women's team also had a great day. On the women's side, the race was won by Doris Lemngole from Alabama. She won her 2nd championship in a row. She finished in 18 minutes and 25 seconds for the 6,000-meter race. A freshman from BYU named Jane Hedengren pushed her hard but finished second. NC State won the women's team championship. It was their 4th title in 5 years. They're just dominant right now. New Mexico's women finished 4th as a team. Their top runner was Pamela Kosky, who finished 17th and became an All-American for the 2nd year in a row. Their coach, Darren Gosson, was proud. He said, "To finish as the only NCAA Division I programmed to double trophy, I mean, it just speaks to New Mexico cross country and what we're all about. We're just going to keep our foot on the gas and try and come back and win 2 next season." Samuel is now the most decorated runner in New Mexico history. He has 10 first-team All-American honors total when you count both cross country and track. He also won the 10,000-meter championship in outdoor track last year. After finishing second 2 years in a row, a lot of runners might have given up or lost confidence. Not Samuel. He kept working, he kept believing, and when his moment came, he was ready. This win means everything to Samuel. He dedicated it to his school and his city.
She has just become the 4th fastest woman.
Melissa Jefferson Wooden just stunned the entire sprinting world. At the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, the 24-year-old didn't simply win. She crushed the field, shattered expectations, and left the sport's biggest names struggling in her wake. Her dominance wasn't luck. It was a statement that embarrassed the sprinting elite.
But Melissa Jefferson Wooden streaks away in the closing stages, 10:61.
Jefferson Wooden opened her Tokyo campaign by clinching the 100-meter gold medal in a stunning 10.61 seconds. It wasn't just a personal best. It was a championship record and the 4th fastest time in women's 100-meter history. Her victory margin of 0.15 seconds over Jamaica's Tina Clayton marked the 2nd largest winning gap in World Championships history. The time also matched the fastest ever recorded at a global championship, tying with Elaine Thompson-Herah's Olympic record set in Tokyo in 2021. "I came in as a hunter," said Jefferson Wooden, referencing her journey from Olympic bronze to global dominance. "I have never won a world or an Olympic 100-meter title, and I worked for that this whole year." Her major rival, Julian Alfred, St. Lucia's Olympic champion, was a formidable presence in the race, but a pulled hamstring during warm-ups hampered her performance. Alfred still managed a courageous 10.84, securing bronze. Tina Clayton, just 21 years old, grabbed silver with a personal best of 10.76. Meanwhile, the legendary Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, a 5-time world champion, ran her final global championship individual race and finished 6th in 11.03. The moment symbolized the passing of the torch, a generational shift captured in real time. Jefferson Wooden's performance was clinical. She had gone undefeated in the 100 meters all season, gradually lowering her personal best and entering Tokyo with the 3 fastest times of the year. She responded to Alfred's 10.93 in the heats by breezing through her semifinal in 10.73, the fastest of the round. "It was not easy," Jefferson Wooden said after her final. "It looked that way, but it wasn't. There was a lot of preparation involved, a lot of hard work. At the end of the day, the main thing was the focus on my execution." But she wasn't done.
Miles clear with 70 meters to go. She's done something that no American woman has ever achieved before.
5 days later, Jefferson Wooden lined up for the 200-meter final in lane 6, flanked by 2-time world champion Shericka Jackson. The stakes were monumental. A sprint double was on the line, and once again she delivered with breathtaking flair. Jefferson Wooden exploded out of the blocks, rapidly made up the stagger on Jackson, and never looked back. She surged down the straightaway and crossed the line in 21.68 seconds, a world-leading mark and a massive personal best. That time elevated her to number 8 on the all-time list and secured her place in sprinting history. Anytime I see anything under 22 seconds, I think, yes, that was great. To see 21.68, it's like, wow, you're kind of moving. It's undeniable at that point, she said post-race. The silver went to Amy Hunt of Great Britain in 22.14, edging out Jackson, who clocked 22.18 for bronze. The U.S. dominated the final, placing 4 women in the top 8, a feat not achieved since 2007. The 200-meter wasn't even part of Jefferson Wooden's original plan, but after her success in the 100-meter, she told her coaches she wanted to take it seriously. They both kind of looked at each other like, "Did y'all hear what she just said? Is she serious?" She recalled. What started as a side goal transformed into an iconic statement. She became only the 4th woman to win the 100 meters and 200 meters at the World Championships, joining legends like Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, 2013, Katrin Krabbe, 1991, and Silke Gladish, 1987. Jefferson Wooden also became the first American to achieve this sprint double since Allison Felix in 2009. But she still wasn't finished. On the final day of the championships, she anchored the U.S. women's 4x100-meter relay team to gold, completing an astonishing sprint triple. In doing so, Jefferson Wooden joined an elite group of women and became the first American ever to win the 100-meter, 200 meters, and 4x100 meters at a single World Championships. The journey to this triple crown wasn't easy. Jefferson Wooden's 2024 season had already hinted at greatness. She claimed Olympic bronze in the 100 meters and gold in the 4x100 meters in Paris. But her rise to the very top took sacrifice, discipline, and belief. She started working with a chef, giving up her beloved Culver's Deluxe Butterburgers, and recommitted herself to maximizing every part of her performance. "My mindset has always kind of been there," she explained. "But it was taking those extra steps as far as my discipline goes to make sure that I'm really doing the things that I need to in order to achieve the things that I say I want to achieve." Even before Tokyo, she had already amassed a formidable season. Wins at the Grand Slam Track Series in Kingston and Miami, a 10.65 at the U.S. Championships in Eugene, making her the joint 5th fastest woman in history at the time, and multiple Diamond League victories over top rivals like Julian Alfred and Gabby Thomas. Jefferson Wooden's performances were more than just fast. They were a public declaration of a new era. NBC analyst Otto Bolden summed it up perfectly. This year, she's the best in her camp. She's the best in the world. She likes that spotlight, and that's why I'm predicting that she is now the woman to beat. The Tokyo crowd witnessed the birth of a new sprint queen and the closing act of a legend. Fraser-Pryce, with a career that included 2 Olympic golds and 10 World Championship titles, bowed out with grace. "It felt really good," she said of the crowd's reception. "Now I'm looking forward to the 4x100 meters." Jefferson Wooden's story is all the more remarkable considering her humble roots. She grew up in Georgetown, South Carolina, a self-described village kid. At 17, she saved her father's life by donating bone marrow during his cancer battle. Years later, that same father stood by the finish line in Tokyo, watching his daughter become a 3-time world champion. "They sacrificed so much for me," Jefferson Wooden said, referencing her parents. It's only right that I go out there and perform and be the best Melissa that I can be so I can make them proud. Her father, Melvin, captured the moment best. I felt blessed because I was there to witness it. This wasn't just a championship, it was a coronation. From Coastal Carolina standout to global sprint queen, Melissa Jefferson Wooden has rewritten the narrative. She is not just fast, she is fearless, focused, and now firmly etched in history. In the weeks following her triple gold performance in Tokyo, Jefferson Wooden became a household name across the sporting world. Media appearances, award nominations, and tributes poured in. She was hailed as the new face of American sprinting and embraced her role as a mentor to younger athletes. She continued training with unwavering dedication, keeping her sights set on upcoming global competitions, including the 2026 Commonwealth Games and 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. Her victories also fueled renewed attention to women's track and field. Youth enrollment in sprint programs surged, and young girls across the U.S. began citing Jefferson Wooden as their inspiration. Her humility and power resonated far beyond the track. As she sets her sights on future Olympic titles and records yet to fall, one thing is clear: the sprinting elite has been officially put on notice, and the world now knows her name, Melissa Jefferson Wooden, triple world champion, and the woman who humiliated the world's best with a smile, a surge, and a gold-laced legacy.
All right, this is Missouri. I'm not going to tell you anymore. Show me.
On November 22nd, 2025, hundreds of the best college runners in America gathered in Columbia, Missouri for the NCAA Cross Country Championships. But this wasn't just any race day. The weather was foggy and the grass was wet, making the course tougher than usual. Despite these challenging conditions, what happened next would completely rewrite the record books. Let's start with the women's 6K race because this one had everyone talking. The main story was about Jane Hedengren, a true freshman from BYU. Now, when I say she dominated this season, that's putting it lightly. In her regional race just weeks earlier, she won by more than 40 seconds. That's a massive gap in cross country. She came into nationals trying to do something that hadn't been done in 40 years. Only one woman had ever won this title as a true freshman, and that was back in 1985.
How about that for Jane Hedengren on her initial run on the Gans Creek course with an 18:42.3.
But standing in her way was Alabama's Doris Lemngole, the defending champion who was 23 years old and much more experienced. This was going to be a battle. The gun went off and the race started incredibly fast. The first kilometer came in at 2 minutes and 59 seconds. To put that in perspective, that's a pace of 4 minutes and 49 seconds per mile. That's blazing fast for a 6K race. And right at the front, you guessed it, Jane Hedengren and Doris Lemngole running side by side. Hedengren kept pushing the pace through 2 kilometers, coming through in 6 minutes and 7 seconds, still under 5 minutes per mile. She was doing exactly what she had done all season, taking it out hard and trying to break everyone. At the halfway point, 3 runners had broken away from the pack. It was Lemngole, Hedengren, and another runner named Rosemary Longisa. They hit 3K in 9 minutes and 13 seconds, and everyone watching knew something special was happening. Shortly after that mark, Lemngole and Hedengren dropped Longisa. Now it was just the two of them. The freshman versus the defending champion. The experience versus the fearless newcomer. They were so far ahead that by the 4K split, they had almost 50 meters on everyone else. The battle continued at a ridiculous pace. They came through 5K in 15 minutes and 24 seconds. Both runners kept making moves, trying to break each other. Lemngole would push hard, but Hedengren wouldn't break. Then Hedengren would surge to the side, but Lemngole stayed right there. But with about 800 meters to go, something changed. Lemngole finally started to pull away. She opened up a gap of 10 to 15 meters on the young freshman, and she kept pushing all the way to the finish line. Doris Lemngole crossed the finish line in 18 minutes and 25.4 seconds. Let me repeat that because it's important. 18 minutes and 25 seconds for 6 kilometers. That wasn't just fast. That was the fastest time ever run at an NCAA championship. Ever. She had just broken the record and defended her title at the same time.
And it has been a while since we've had a repeat champion. Sheila Reed from Villanova, 2010-2011. Roll Tide, it is Doris Lemngole.
Jane Hedengren came in second with a time of 18 minutes and 38.9 seconds. She was 13 seconds behind, but her time was still the second fastest ever run at Nationals. Florida's Hilda Olemo-Moy finished third in 18 minutes and 46.4 seconds.
Defending her championship, and what a run by the freshman, Jane Hedengren.
She gave everything she had to stay with Doris up that hill, and it cost her.
Here's what makes this even more crazy. The top 6 finishers all ran the fastest times in championship history.